Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Katie. In this video we're going to be doing our second pick from my kit slash shop my stash video, where I basically just go into my makeup collection, grab a load of makeup and try and gravitate towards things that I don't gravitate towards, aka I'll try and pick things that I don't really use that often or I haven't used in a while. Also means that if I don't like a product I can then like kind of declutter it, so it kind of helps me kind of clean out my makeup collection as well. So anyway, this is the look that we created. I think it looks a lot better than the first pick from my kit video I did. I'm not like in love with it, but it's alright. So I'm now going to go ahead and show you me picking this makeup and then how I did this makeup. Right, okay, so I'm going to start by picking my eyeshadow, and I have in my head that I want to do a green and a gold eyeshadow look, and the first palette that came to mind was this MUA one. I'm gonna have to find it. Ooh, is that it? There you go, found that instantly. This is a MUA eyeshadow palette called Green Goddess, and it has got quite a lot of greens in there as well as some other shades. So I figured I'd use this one because I've not used this in absolutely ages, so I'm gonna try this one out. But I also want like a statement kind of gold, so I don't know, do I have any sort of gold? I'm not going to use any glitter, but I think in my next pick from my kit video I will definitely use some glitter, just because I feel like I need to use more glitter and I haven't used it in a while. But I need some sort of gold. I want a more yellowy gold as opposed to a more coppery gold. That's what I'm thinking. Like, I don't want this sort of like gold. I mean, to me that looks more bronzy anyway. Is that one like gold enough? I feel like it's not as vibrant as I want it to be. I want like sort of like a gold like this, but I want like a, I don't want a liquid, I want like a powder. Honestly, I'm looking here and I can't see. No, that's not really what I want. Okay, I can't see a gold in my singles. Does Urban Decay Moon Dust have a nice gold in it? No, it doesn't. This is the closest thing to a gold and it's a bit too deep. Closest thing I can find to the sort of gold I want is like this one from the W7 On The Rocks, is that what it's called? Yeah, palette. This one here. Or this one from the Juvia's Place Wood Dabby palette. I think I'll use the W7 one just because I feel like I use the Juvia's Place palette more often than this W7 one, which I don't use very often, but that gold is the sort of shade I want. So I want that shade, and then I want some greens from this, and there's actually a few greens in this palette, so I think it's a Subculture dupe. But either way, we've got these two palettes that we will make a green and gold look with. So I already kind of thought about this, and the lip product that I want to use is this matte liquid lipstick from Belle Hypoallergenic, which I don't remember actually using after I first tried it, but that's like a sort of pinky nude. But then I also thought I would, where is it, use this one as well, which is a H&M Velvet Lip Green, and it's like a really pale nude colour, so I thought I'd kind of like put that in the centre, so we've just got quite a neutral lip, which should match our green look. Do I want to use a lip pencil though? I'd need something quite nude. Oh, I've not used this in absolutely ages. It's like a Maybelline Colour Sensational lip liner. They might not even make these anymore. But I'm going to use this to line my lips with that. Okay, so we'll try out a primer. What primer should we use? I kind of want to use this one because this is like probably one of the first primers I bought. It's probably really old now and maybe expired, but I know I used to use this a lot, so there's probably not even that much in it. But you know what, let's try this out today. I think it's quite a pore blurring primer, so we're going to use that one. Right, we need to pick a foundation. I might actually use this Chanel one because my sister got me this for Christmas last year and I've not actually used it that often, and that feels kind of rude of me, so I'm going to use this one, but it is a teensy bit dark, so I'm going to have to use a light mixer. What should we use? I might use these Revolution Pro foundation mixer lightning drops because this is probably the white mixer I reach for the least. Ooh, does it look a bit weird in there? I don't know, we'll find out. So yeah, I'm going to use this Chanel Latente Ultra Tenue That's a lot of French words. Ultra Wear Flawless Foundation with the Revolution Foundation Mixing Drops. for concealer, because I used the Maybelline Age Rewind last time, I kind of want to use the Fit Me this time, because again it's been quite well since I used this, and I did use it quite a lot when I had it. See, it doesn't actually look like there's that much left in it, but I'm going to see what I can get out of this. Okay, we need a setting powder, something that I don't reach for. Should I try this ASOS one? Because like I barely ever use this. I feel like I did have some sort of problem with it, but I don't remember what the problem was exactly. So yay, it could ruin my makeup. That'll be fun. It's called the ASOS Translucent Pressed Powder. I think this is the only ASOS makeup product I've ever tried. My bronzers and blushes are in my other drawers, so I'm just going to pick my highlighter whilst I'm here. What highlighter should we use? Something that we don't reach for a lot. I might go for this Barry M palette. This is the Illuminating Highlight palette. From my memory, this is actually quite a nice highlighter palette. I can use these two shades. They'll work for my skin tone. This one's obviously a bit too bronzy for me, but I could top it over my bronzer. I tried this last year. I quite like it, but I've not reached for it a lot recently, so let's give this one a go. Right, moving on to my blush and my bronzer drawer. Well, actually, what's actually in this palette? This is a Makeup Obsession palette. I might go for this one because it's got some like shades I could use for bronzer and for blush in here. It's also got some highlighters which I remember were really nice. I might dip into some of those as well as the Barry M one, but yeah, let's give this palette a go. I remember that I used to really like this when I first got it. Okay, let's pick some eyebrows and some mascara. So what gel should we use? I don't have much memory of this L'Oreal Brow Artist Plumper. I literally have barely any memory of this, so shall we give this a go? I think the brush isn't my favourite. It's not too big, but it is definitely a little bit bigger than what I normally would like, but we'll give this one a go. Okay, and I want like some sort of micro brow pencil to go with that. But which one? I might use this H&M one, which I remember I used to really like, but I've not reached for it in a while. This is the Super Fine Brow Liner. This is definitely like an old favourite. I used to really like this. I think the shade is like Espresso or something. Okay, mascara. Half of these are probably dried up. So what have we got that's got some moisture in it? I might try this lash primer from Barry M just under my mascara because I'm not used to that. I might try this Wet n Wild one for my bottom lashes because I remember that being pretty good for it. Hopefully there's some moisture in it. Should I try this Gosh Turn Me On one because I've not used that in a while. It's like a vibrating mascara. And eyeliners. I think I do want to have a liquid liner with my look, but I'll go for something that I don't reach for a lot because my favourite ones are the Bourjois ones. What have we got in here? This NYX one is like almost empty, so I won't use that. Should I try this Lord and Berry one? Yeah, I've not used this in ages. Let's try this Lord and Berry one. I think it was from like a cohorted beauty box in the shade, what is it? Intense Black. Well, that's what we want. Right, we'll use that liquid liner and hope for the best. And for kohl liner, what have we got in here? I think I'll go for this Bourjois Contour Clubbing Waterproof Ultra Black Eyeliner. It is a one that you sharpen, which I probably will need to do, but I've not used that in a while, but I think I remember it being pretty decent, so we'll use this one in our waterlines. Right, so this is all of the makeup we've chosen, so I'll just run through it again. So for primer, we're using the No. 7 Airbrush Away Pore Minimizing Primer. For foundation, we're using the Chanel Ultra Wear Flawless Foundation, and I'm going to mix in a bit of this Revolution Pro mixing dropper thing. Then I'm going to use the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. I think the shade is Ivory, 05 Ivory, I believe. I think it's a lighter shade. I'm going to use the Translucent Pressed Powder from ASOS. I'm going to use this Makeup Obsession face palette. I'm not sure of the name. I think it's like Obsessive Face Palette or something like that. Don't know if it's still available. I will have to look into that one. I'm using this for blusher and bronzer. I might dip into some of the highlighters as well, but I've also got the Barry M Illuminating Highlighter palette as well. For eyeshadow, I've got the W7 on the Rocks and the MUA Green Goddess palette. For eyebrows, I've got the L'Oreal Brow Artist Plumper, and I've got the H&M Superfine Brow Liner. The L'Oreal is in shade Medium Dark. Mascara, I'm going to be using a mix of Turn Me On Vibrating Mascara from Gosh the Wet n Wild Mega Slim mascara, and also the Barry Lash Primer. For eyeliner and waterline, I'm using the Boudoir Contour Clubbing. For liquid liner, I'm using the Lord & Berry liquid liner. For my lip product, I'm using the matte liquid lipstick from Belle Hypoallergenic in the shade Zero True Warsaw, I don't know. And I'm using the Maybelline Colour Sensational lip liner in the shade Sweet Pink, and the H&M Velvet Lip Cream in the shade Nudista. Okay, time to transform this face. So I'll start with the Maybelline Fit Me concealer, what is left of this anyway. I feel like this was a good shade. I don't know if like when you have it for a while it maybe starts to oxidize, but I mean it's still pretty light, but it's a little bit orangey. But I feel like it might have been lighter when I bought it fresh, if you know what I mean. So I'm just using this to have a base for eyeshadow, and then I will do one eye off camera and come back just so I can hopefully be happy with my look. I think last time things didn't go so well in these Pick My Kit videos. Yeah, that's got some decent coverage. So I'll throw on some of the ASOS powder over the top of that. I don't know, I'm not sure about the texture of that powder, but we'll have to see what it's like on the rest of my face. So as I said, I am going to go and do one eye off camera and hopefully be able to recreate it on the other eye. My dad has decided this is a great time to hoover, so sorry if you can hear that in the background. Hopefully it's not too bad. I mean, I'm not mega happy with how this turned out, but it's kind of like, can I be bothered to do another eye look? No, really. I don't know, I feel like the shadows themselves aren't the best. I kind of thought I was going to have more green options in this, but then when you look at it, it's actually really, it's not that green, to be honest, and it's like, it's like quite shimmer heavy. There's not a lot of mattes. Like there isn't really like a solid green matte that I could use. There's this one here, but when I put it on, I feel like it sort of looked kind of grey. So, I don't know. And the gold didn't really, it wasn't as vibrant as I wanted it to be, but I can live with this eyeshadow look, so that's what we're going to do. So I started with the W7 on the Rocks palette, and I used this greeny, dark greeny colour called Magnum, and that's just going for the crease to start with. So I feel like it just looks a bit like kind of grey and muddy, but I don't know, like I kind of wish I'd picked some other palettes now. It's more of like a just like deep bluey green sort of, it's not really the sort of green look that I wanted, but you know, is what it is. I do think the deeper green that I'm going to use in a minute is actually pretty good, but I was a bit disappointed with this colour and the gold as well. I mean, it does show up, but it takes a lot of building to get any decent pigment from it. I'm now going to the MUA palette, and I'm using this glimmery shade here. I know there's like rules about not putting shimmers in a crease, but I don't care about those rules because that's kind of going over what we've done. I sort of was trying to use this to make it like a bit more like greeny looking, which I mean it worked a little bit, but not a lot. Then back in the W7 palette, I'm using this darker green called Caraco. I think that's how you say that word. This one here, which actually, this one does show up quite well, and that's just going under what I've placed so far. I feel like with this one, you can still see that there's some green in it. Like it doesn't just go straight on like black or like brown looking or grey looking. It actually, you can kind of see that there is some green pigment behind it, which I feel like with the first one that I put down, you didn't really get that. And then I'm adding a bit more of this shimmer that I used before, just over the top, because I've lost it a bit. And then using my concealer, and I'm just cutting the crease, but just in the center part. So then I'm using Champagne Toast, which is the gold shade in the W7 palette. And that's going on what I've just cut. I feel like I've used this in the past and it's been quite nice, but I feel like today it just didn't really do it for me. I'm using like a mix of my brush and my finger. I mean, that was pretty nice, but it starts to kind of fade when I kept playing around with my eyeshadow, so I don't know what that's about. I'm then using this like kind of pale shimmery green in the MUA palette, and that's kind of going in the inner part and the outer part, just next to the gold. And then putting a little bit of this light goldy shade. I did kind of add a little bit of that on top of the gold, and it didn't really work. And then I'm going back to the other gold and adding more of that. I don't really know what the hell I'm doing, if I'm honest, but you know, it's the same as usual. Yeah, okay. And then using the same green shade that I used earlier, Caraco, W7, and I'm using like a more smaller smudgy brush, and I'm kind of just packing it through the crease, just to kind of define that area a bit more. And then using the same sort of smudgy brush, and I'm using the matte black from the MUA palette, and just packing a bit of this in the outer third. Okay, I feel like this eyeshadow's turned out way better on this eye, which is like normally the opposite. Normally the one I do off camera is better. But this actually looks way better than this eye. That's really fucking annoying. And then using this sort of creamy white matte shade, and that's just going under my brow bone. And over the top of that with Sugar In, which has got a bit of shimmer in it in the W7 palette. Okay, this actually looks good. Like, I actually like that. But why did it not turn out as good on this eye, for God's sake? Yeah, so that's the eyeshadow done, and if I'd actually managed to do it to that quality on the other side, I'd be really happy with this eyeshadow look. But I just feel like there's some major inconsistencies going on here. And then I obviously used the Lord & Berry eyeliner, which I don't like. It's just a little bit too flimsy and too like thin. It's hard to get like a good grip with it. And it's a little bit watery, it's not the most pigmented. My wing looks okay, but it's definitely not the best wing I've ever done, so. Even got my wing better on the side. It very rarely happens that the side I do on camera turns out better than the side I do off camera. What is happening? So next we've got the Bourjois Contour Clubbing Eyeliner, and I'm just going to pop this in my top and my bottom waterlines. That works pretty well, happy with that. I'm not going to use the weird vibration. I wonder if it still works. Yeah, still works. Can you hear it? To be honest, I feel like it's just making noise. It doesn't actually look like the thing's moving at all. I mean, it's still got some moisture in, so it's not completely dried up or anything, which is great. Let's coat our lashes to death in hopes that we get some volume. I definitely think our lash primer helped us out there. I mean, it's not bad. There's some lashes there. It's not the most lashes, but it's alright. That'll do. Okay, so time to move on to our base makeup now. So we'll put some of this number 7 primer on. I've had this for probably 3 years, so, you know, I think I am just going to keep this in my like, kind of T-zone, my pore area, around my nose, a bit on my forehead. Just where I have like prominent pores is where I'll pop this. I feel like I used to really like this, so I think the thing I liked about it was the texture though, because I'm very new to makeup, especially primers, so I was like, ooh, it's soft, I like it. I mean, it seems fine. It does have a bit of a weird smell, which makes me think it's gone off, but then I don't know that maybe if it always smelled like that, you know, it's hard to remember. Do I think it blurs out pores? I think a little bit. Like, it's definitely like made my skin so smooth and soft. I feel like it has made them a little bit less prominent, but it's not like gonna work miracles or anything. Okay, so let's get a mix of this Chanel foundation. If I remember correctly, it's a little bit pink in undertone. Yeah, I feel like it looks a little bit pink, so I might actually add a bit of my yellow mix as well. I mean, to me it's just a little bit orangey. So I'll put in a few drops of this Revolution Pro mixer. I feel like this mixer from Revolution's a little bit pink as well. Just not ideal when you don't have pink toned skin. Oh shit. Things are going wrong. Okay, I put way too much of the mixing drops in. I'm not gonna lie, I don't feel like those mixing drops are that great. Like, I don't feel like it actually made it that much lighter. It still looks really orangey to me, and I put way too much in. So I just put a tiny bit of this. This is the LA Girl foundation mixing pigment. This is the yellow one. So I'm gonna put a glob of that in. Okay, this colour looks like a train wreck, but listen, I just want it on my face. I don't care anymore. I can deal with it. This Chanel foundation smells like yogurt. Like strawberry yogurt. Like, I feel like those little yogurts you'd get when you were a kid. Kind of like Froobs as well. Yes. I'm not mad at it. I like the smell of yogurts. That looks pretty nice actually. I think the colour's actually alright. I didn't mix it too badly. It might oxidise though, because it's oxidising on my hand. That's for sure. Okay, so we're using Maybelline Fit Me Now, which, like I said earlier, I feel like this was definitely lighter when I first bought it, but I feel like it's like oxidised over time. Is that a thing that happens? Because I'm gonna say it is. Just feel like it looks quite orangey. This might be a disaster, but I want to see if I can get a bit of the white foundation on my finger and just put a tiny bit in the under eye area, just to like make that area a bit brighter. That could have ruined it, who knows. I think that concealer's pretty nice, sits on the skin pretty nice, definitely giving me some coverage. I feel like overall it looks alright. My base. We may be about to ruin it with this powder though, because last time the powder ruined it, and if I don't reach for it, there's probably a reason for it, so that's what we're gonna find out. Let's find out what that reason is. So I mean, it just looks like a standard translucent powder, but what's it gonna do? Let's find out. So I'm just using this to set my face. Has made my skin look kind of grim. That's not nice. It just looks so cakey and so powdery. I don't like that at all. I don't think it's quite as bad as the Isadora powder from my last pick from my kit video. It's pretty damn close. It doesn't look nice. I don't know, maybe it just needs some time to settle onto my skin. Should we let it do that? This could potentially make it worse, but I'm going to put some Urban Decay All Night setting spray on my face and maybe pat it in with a sponge. I don't even know. I'm going to use this baked shade called Prenup, this one up here, and that is going to be my bronzer. that's pretty nice. I'm going to add a little bit of the bronzy shade from the Barry M palette over the top of that as well, just for some added glow. We're going for a very glowy bronze look today, not a matte one, that's for sure. Then using a little bit of this shade called Troublemaker, which is a bit more pink toned. And I'm going to pop a bit of that on my apples and my cheeks as a bit of blush. So I'm going to use the white shade in the Barry M palette. And I'm just going to use this all over for highlighter. And then I think I'll use one of the highlighters from the Obsession palette as well. I know that this is quite nice, so I don't need to use another highlighter on it, but I just want to. I've got them out, why not use them? See, I had good memories of this highlight palette, but if I'm honest, it's not really doing it for me today. Doesn't seem to be that pigmented. To give it the benefit of the doubt though, sometimes powders do affect the quality of my highlighters. But we will try some shades from this and see if these show up any better. I feel like I remember this whitey gold shade being like really pretty, so I'm going to use this one. It's called Skinny Dip. I'm just using the same brush, and let's see if this has any more pigment. Ooh, yeah, that's definitely got a bit more pigment. Yeah, that highlighter is way more poppin', way more intense. Like, my nose don't keep it though. Hello. I think this is actually a really nice palette. I think it may be discontinued now, I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, I feel like a little bit underwhelmed with the Barry M one. But this one I think is really nice. Okay, so let's move on to brows using L'Oreal Brow Plumper. I'm going to wipe off as much excess as I can from this brush, because that's when things get splodgy, when you just go straight on without wiping off any product. The brush isn't awful, but I would prefer something a little bit smaller. But I literally have absolutely no recollection of how this performs. I feel like, did I buy this last year? I honestly don't remember. This was going so well until I got a splodge here. But other than that, I actually think that did an okay job with my brows. Not too bad, just wipe off all the excess and don't splodge it. I'm hoping I should be able to remove that with a cotton bud while it dries. Hopefully, fingers crossed. So we're using the H&M brow pencil just to give that a bit more definition. Okay, if we ignore where I got that splodge, I don't think those brows are too bad. I can rub with them. I'm going to use the more pinky toned highlighter called Smitten and pop that one in my inner corner. So going back to the lower lash line, I'm using the colour I started with, what's it called, Magnum, and just putting a bit of that underneath my lower lash line. To be fair to that powder, it's not separated my under eye concealer or like a lot of powders do. Like, it has sit in my lines, but like it overall looks not too bad under my eyes. Then using this shimmer that we used earlier and putting that in the same sort of area. Then using the same dark green I used earlier, Caraco, and that's just being smudged closer to the lash line. Okay, so I'm going to add a bit of the Barry M Lash Saver to my bottom lashes as well. And then I'll use the Wet n Wild for my bottom lashes. Okay, so we're using the Wet n Wild Mega Slim Mascara for my bottom lashes. I do think that works pretty well on bottom lashes. It's like quite easy to just get into every individual lash. I feel like this kind of smoky eye looks like a lot better than the smoky eye that I did in the last video. But I feel like now that I've done the eye look, yeah, this eye is still definitely better. But overall I do quite like it now. Yeah, definitely way better. definitely a way better eye look than the first in my kit video. So anyway, let's finish off lips. I'm going to use this Maybelline pencil that they probably don't even make anymore. Sweet Pink is the shade. I'm just going to use this to line my lips, which are covered in highlighter. Okay, now I'm going to use the Belle Hypoallergenic liquid lipstick in Warsaw, I don't know. Ooh, this is quite deep actually, the colour. It smells like really nice. Oh, God's sake, it's doing so well. I'm going to have to clean that up somehow. Things have gone wrong around my lip area, but you know, let's continue anyway. H&M Nudista Velvet Lip Cream is going in the centre. Okay, so that's everything on. I'm just going to fix up any mess off camera. Voila, we are back with the finished look, and I put my hair in, and I'm overall happy with this makeup look. It's not perfect. There is some weird patchiness going on in my mouth where I tried to conceal up my lipstick mistakes and it just didn't want to stick. So let's just not get too close to that area, shall we? Because from a distance, yeah, makeup looks great. Definitely feel like this went a lot better than my first pick from my kit. I feel like I overall like the eyeshadow. I feel like my base looks fine. I feel like once that powder settles onto the skin, it doesn't look as powdery and as like kind of horribly textured as it did when it first went on. So that's making me really confused about whether or not I want to keep this powder or not, because like I don't feel like it looks really bad now. Like I feel like I can still see like noticeable like kind of powderiness, but I feel like you'd have to get quite close to notice it. Like from a distance, I don't feel like my skin looks horrible. I like the Chanel foundation. I like the Maybelline concealer. I like the Bourjois contour clubbing liner. Not so sure about the liquid liner. The mascara's okay. I don't know. I feel like the lash primer helped that mascara to look a bit better. It didn't look amazing. I think the Wet n Wild one is pretty good in the bottom lashes though. I quite liked this lipstick, but I feel like I sort of ruined it with the H&M one because I feel like it just made it look really dry and like crackly, whereas I feel like this on its own was looking quite nice before I put that on, so I kind of wish I hadn't bothered with the H&M Velvet Lip Cream. Overall, I think there's some decent products that I've used here, some maybe not so much, but I feel like most of them were pretty good. So I'm overall quite happy with how it's turned out. It's not my favourite makeup look I've ever done, but it's a lot better than the last pick from my kit. So thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you for my next one. Goodbye.